So I did say that I was gonna make an update for my Afterglow deck, goodness, like months ago. And I know what you're thinking. Did I really wait months to get this mat, to get this bromide, and to get this card just so I can make this deck profile? The answer is yes. You should all probably know that. The answer is yes. As many of y'all could have guessed, I love Afterglow. One of the first deck profiles on this channel was actually an Afterglow deck profile, but that was years ago. I waited for this deck to be a little better, and by God, I think I finally got a decent Afterglow build. Can you tell I'm a fan? So without further ado, this is damn good, and honestly, this is my main deck. This is a mono green Band League ready 8 gold bar Afterglow deck. We're going to start off with these 4 Himaris. She is a free runner and alarm. During the climax phase, you give a character on reverse clock swap. So your opponent heals and then you send whatever is reversed to the clock. You run it for the runner effect, but this has a pretty decent removal effect as well. Get around hand encore and all that good stuff. It's very, very nice. We did receive these cards through the multi-life set in English, but those are actually double rares and they're pretty damn hard to find. So I actually got 2 of them because I actually purchased a trial deck when I was in Japan, and then I got 2 extra ones from a buddy of mine. So shout out to Hung from AMA Collectibles, and shout out to them too. They also give me a lot of cards and stuff. Then I do run 4 Evening Memories Ran. She is a level 0 clock bomb and alarm. During the climax phase, you give a character twin drive. Pretty standard, and the twin drive is very nice. It's just towards one character, which does kind of suck. And what also sucks is that this is the beginning of the climax phase, so you're not able to give it where you need it. And just a heads up, you are not scared to trigger your gold bars, so if you think you're going to blind stock a climax, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be covered, so no need to worry there. Rock and Glow Sugumi is on play, pay 1, ditch a card, and you clock salvage and alarm. All of your characters gain the following effect. On attack, pay 1. Top check your opponent's deck and either keep it at the top or toss it at the bottom. Super, super, super good. Helps get climax out of your hand, and you use your clock as an extra resource, and the alarm effect is live for all of your characters. You swing with certainty, and it's like a better way to keep your stock clean as well, as opposed to the twin drive, because this is blanket all of your characters. Side note, this has won me some games. I'll explain that in a little bit, but this has won me some games. I run 1 my own kind of good Himari and 3 Sunset Mochas. Both of these cards are on play from hand. Top check your deck, and if it's a character, you add it to your hand, then you ditch a card, which is phenomenal, but their alarm effects are different. So the Mocha states that if you have 3 or more other characters at the start of your climax phase, you give a character 2k power, which is super helpful because power is a weak point in this deck. And the Himari is, if this card's in the top of your clock, if your opponent uses Brainstorm and they hit, you choose one of your opponent's level 0 characters and they cannot stand during the next stand phase. So that is some disruption that you really don't see in Weiss. And I only run 1 because it's usually like when they actually hit and I like target one of their level 0 characters that can't stand, they just squish over it. So at that point, like, what's the point? It's in this deck because it is a Himari card and it does catch people off guard for sure, but mainly we're using this because of the power boost. Then I do run 1 Swimming Trio Himari. Don't really use this card. When you play Climax, you bounce this card back in your hand, then you give a character 2k power, and then if you have 4 or more other characters, alarm, you salvage, then you ditch. But I mainly just run it because it is an alarm card and it's a Himari card as well. I really like Himari. We're gonna cover both of these cards at the exact same time because they're integral to the deck. So our music, Mitake Ran, is a pay 1 tap self-searching Brainstorm, and when you trigger a gold bar, you draw 1, ditch 1. Then Frozen in Time Himari is 500 forward. When you trigger a gold bar, you ditch a card, clock salvage. These are your hand fixers in Afterglow. You are going to need these in your back row at all times. You cycle through your deck super quickly, you keep your hand clean, and more importantly, you're tossing any extra climaxes into your waiting room for optimal refreshes. These are integral to the deck. Before we get onto the climax combos, yes, that is an S, climax combos, we have to talk about one more level 1. On stage, Himari is a 1k5 backup and alarm, main phase. Swap this card with a character in your waiting room. There are a lot of valid targets and cards you want to have in your clock for the alarm effects. This is a good way to get alarm effects on demand. So let's say you don't really want to use the backup. You could clock it, then you swap it with another character with alarm. Like, this is a bad example, but yeah, you know what I mean. This also makes your waiting room a valid resource. It's very, very good. You're gonna run a couple of these. I do run 2. All right, climax combos. We have Echoing Heartbeat Mitake Ran. We run 4 of these, and we do run 4 of the That Is How I Roll. I only have 3 right now because I gotta keeping the deck like organized so I could show y'all quicker. On attack, she gains power equal to however many characters you have, and climax combo on attack with That Is How I Roll. This gains 1k power and on reverse blind stock. The climax is a 1k1 and a gold bar when triggered. Not the best, honestly, but you're gonna be running it because of another card that we're gonna get to. So you want to keep your stock clean because gold bar really be out here just keeping you guessing. It is really good in the power department. You are going to be doing it for that. 6k5 with a full field. And if you have the Himaris in the back row, this will be at 7k power. So very, very solid there. Here is your real level 1 combo. Yes, it's a Himari card. Rock and Glow Himari is on attack with Rock and Glow. You stock an alarm character. So you gain stock, then you trigger. So you load up your waiting room with alarm characters. So you're going to +6 stock if you have a full field of these. Now, the reason for this is that you're ripping 3 characters out of your waiting room to keep it in your stock out of your deck. You're gonna be covered in stock, and remember, if you trigger a gold bar, you're gonna be fine with your back row. No worries. Remember, the whole point of this deck is to refresh with as many climaxes as possible for easy canceling. You're going to be taking cards out of your waiting room when you refresh. This is super good. Also, pro tip, these are the cards right here that you're gonna be using for this effect. These are the cards that you're gonna be tossing in your stock. The main reason is that you don't want to be tossing your Himari, your Mocha, or your Sugumi because these still have other practical effects later in game. These ones, not so much. So you're able to get rid of these for sure. Spoiler alert, same with these 2 cards. You kind of don't want to be tossing these in your stock blindly. But either way, this combo is pretty damn solid. Again, the whole reason to refresh with as many climaxes as possible. Also, you're not really worried about the stock, like, at all. Like, your stock is fine. And for the level 2s, I have the usual suspect. You already know what it does. Alright, level 3s. Here is Legend of the 7 Mysteries Mocha. She has on-play salvage and on attack. Pay 1. Ditch an alarm character. This card gains on reverse clock shoot. Pretty damn good, and the salvage is super, super solid. Helps snag cards that you need, or should I say the 1 card, which again, we will get to in a bit. Then this is from the trial deck or from the multi-live set if you are an English player. This has won me games multiple times. This is, I consider, my secondary level 3 finisher for sure. I only run 2 because of my other secondary level 3 finisher, and honestly one of the cheesiest cards in this deck. Proof I am here, Ron. Alarm. At the start of your main phase, pay 1. Place the top card of your deck to the bottom of your clock. Search an Afterglow character, which is great. Searching Ricky, kind of. On attack, pay 1. Mill 3. Burn for however many alarm characters milled. The alarm effect is great since you don't actually have any Searching Rickies in this deck, but you know, I'll take what I can get. Search out what you need, and the burn effect is super nice. You have a lot of alarm cards in this deck, so burn for exact damage. I honestly love this card, and again, the burn effect has won me some games as well. And of course, Accepting Feelings Mocha. I do run 4 of these, and again, there's the climax. We do run 4. The climax is double up, so why wouldn't you be running the level 1? So Accepting Feelings Mocha, you know what it does. Go watch the video I put out about the scariest cards in Weiss Schwarz. I run 4. The main reason this is super good is on attack, top check 2 cards from your opponent's deck. Then you top check 2 cards of your deck. You get rid of whatever you don't want in your opponent's deck and whatever like you need in your deck as well. So you're effectively getting rid of the RNG of Weiss Schwarz with this card. It's super, super solid, and there has not been another reprint of this exact effect. Again, go watch that video that I made. And there we have the deck profile. There is a lot of searching, there is a lot of salvaging, and using your clock and waiting room as resources. This deck is super, super fun to play. Every card works towards the end goal. Your backup Hemonies are super valuable in this deck, and having those hand fixers are absolutely amazing. It only took until Anime Volume 2 to get a solid package. So like I mentioned, the purpose of this deck is to cycle through your deck with the most climaxes in your waiting room. You're going to be keeping your hand clean because when you trigger a gold bar, cool, you have them in your hand. How do I get rid of it though? You have multiple solid ways to get them. Obviously you got the hand fixers, and then you got the level, you got this Sugumi here, and also you do have the Mocha as well. Great ways to cycle through your deck, and more importantly, getting rid of any extra climaxes. Now for the bad, the power. Everything is so effing weak, it is insane. The Mochas that power up on clock do help, but like I mentioned, you want to cancel, so crashing isn't going to be that big of a deal. You're going to be getting soul damage in, and hopefully your opponent will overswing. Hopefully. Another bad thing is the clock. Remember that you have alarm effects, because there have been a couple of times that I forgot to activate my alarm abilities. Do not be like me, please be smarter. This deck has won me some locals multiple times, and I know, they're just locals, who cares, but come on. Either way, I love this deck. It is so much fun to play. It is not really for beginners per se, because there's a lot of effects being thrown around here and there, but if you're a moderate or an expert player that likes Afterglow, give this a shot. It's not very cheap now, especially if you're trying to play it in English because of the Himaris and the Mochas as well, but hey, you know, I got this deck for pretty cheap at the time. And that is where we're going to end today's video. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to all my channel members over here, and I will see you all in the next one. So I was looking at this and it just hit me. They're all in order of the playmat. Like, I didn't even realize. There you can kind of see Mocha right there. But yeah, they're all in order of the playmat. Is that on purpose?